Trump is not the first president to snub an inauguration. Joe Biden is set to be sworn in as the 46th U.S. president, ending one of the most dramatic political transitions in American history. Mr. Biden is to take the oath of office from Chief Justice John Roberts. Outgoing President Donald Trump, who has not formally conceded to Mr. Biden, is not attending the ceremony. The new president has announced a raft of executive orders aimed at dealing with the coronavirus crisis and reversing Mr. Trump's key policies. Vice President-elect Harris was sworn in first, becoming the first woman and the first Black and Asian American person elevated to serve in a role a heartbeat from the presidency. Mr. Trump left the White House for the last time as president shortly after 8 o'clock, 1300 hours GMT. He boarded a helicopter, flew to the nearby Andrews base, and has now arrived in Florida. He is the first president not to attend his successor's inauguration since 1869. Mr. Biden, a Democrat, is about to take the oath of office outside the U.S. Capitol. There is extra tight security after the building was stormed by violent pro-Trump protesters in a deadly riot on 6 January. Some 25,000 troops are guarding the inauguration ceremony, which is missing the traditional hundreds of thousands of spectators because of the coronavirus pandemic. Alongside Mr. Biden, Kamala Harris will make history when she is sworn in as the nation's first female vice president. How is Inauguration Day unfolding? Early on Wednesday, Mr. Biden attended Mass at a cathedral in Washington, along with 4 Roman Catholic congressional leaders, both Democrats and Republicans, before making his way to the Capitol. Age 78, Mr. Biden is the oldest U.S. president ever to be sworn in. Among those attending the ceremony are 3 of his predecessors: Barack Obama, under whom Mr. Biden served for 8 years as vice president, Bill Clinton, and George W. Bush. What happens at the inauguration? Outgoing Vice President Mike Pence is also attending the ceremony. He skipped Mr. Trump's farewell military salute event at Andrews Base. Aides say Mr. Biden will use his inaugural address of about half an hour to deliver an optimistic call for national unity after his Republican predecessor's turbulent tenure. The ceremony includes musical performances by Lady Gaga, who sang the national anthem, as well as Jennifer Lopez and Garth Brooks. An evening concert at the Lincoln Memorial in the city will be hosted by Tom Hanks and include Bruce Springsteen, John Legend, Jon Bon Jovi, Justin Timberlake, and Demi Lovato. What is Trump doing? In his address at Andrews Air Force Base, the outgoing president highlighted what he regarded as the successes of his presidency. "What we've done has been amazing by any standard," Mr. Trump said. The 74-year-old flew off to begin post-presidential life at his Mar-a-Lago golf club in Palm Beach. In his last hours, Mr. Trump granted clemency to more than 140 people, including his former advisor Steve Bannon, who had been facing fraud charges. The political drama surrounding Mr. Trump is far from over. The U.S. Senate is expected to put him on trial soon, following his record second impeachment by the House of Representatives for allegedly inciting the Capitol riot. On Tuesday, the Senate's Republican leader, Mitch McConnell, said the mob had been provoked by Mr. Trump and fed lies.